Hi, I'm Adam Vergara, and you're watching Tennis Ninja TV.
Aloha Tennis Ninja fans! Welcome again to Tennis Ninja TV. I am your host, Shane Cashin. I have a guest today who was originally from the Philippines, guys, and she made her home for a few years in Hawaii, playing for the University of Hawaii Warriors. Got my shirt again, representing. Guys, say hello to Roxanne Resma. Roxy, welcome to the show.
Aloha, hello guys. Thank you, Shane, for having me. It's so nice to catch up with you, even for a quick while. So I'm excited for this.
Roxy, what's been going on? I know you've been back home in the Philippines. Fill us in. What's happening over there?
So the Philippines has been pretty much on lockdown still, like especially in Manila. But in my city where I'm at now, we're pretty much back on our feet. The malls are open, the restaurants are open, but of course following safety measures and all the other things needed. So I'm busy with work already. That's what keeps me busy throughout these times. So pretty good.
How have you been holding up during this time?
Well, as I've said, work has been keeping me busy, so it's a good distraction with everything going on. So I guess I'm pretty holding up pretty much okay.
Well, Roxy, I really appreciate you joining us today, just because I know and I've heard you have a very interesting journey when it comes to the racket and being on the tennis court. Considering that you're not originally from the United States, I'm sure tennis must be very different out in the Philippines, but maybe not so different. I'd like to learn about that. What inspired you to first start playing tennis as a young kid?
Well, growing up, my parents were really athletic. My dad played soccer and my mom played volleyball when they were younger. So I remember growing up, my dad would always encourage us to join summer camps of different sports. So I played. I did swimming, basketball, and all those sports growing up. And then one summer, for some reason, I don't know, my dad wanted me to try tennis since his office was close to the tennis court. Backstory, quick story, my dad used to drink a lot when we were younger. So his office was right next to the tennis court, and then he'd drink with his friends and colleagues. And that there's a little club by the tennis court. He'd go home late. So what my mom would do was she'd send me after school. She'd send me to the tennis courts to pick up my dad, and because she thought that my dad would come home earlier since I have school the next day. But what my dad would do is he'd let me play tennis just with random like kids and whoever is at the tennis court around that time, so he could continue enjoying and having fun with his friends. After that, the coach saw me, the local coach from that club saw me, and then he was just like, oh, okay, why don't you just try one summer camp and see if you like it? And then, as they say, the rest is history from there. So
Wow, interesting how you just never know how tennis all of a sudden comes
yeah.
into your life, right? It's humble beginnings, as I would always like to say that sometimes it's just on accident that you're just blessed with something special, And what was it like, Roxy, playing in the juniors back in the day? Did you have I'm assuming you probably played in the juniors ever since then, huh?
Juniors here in the Philippines isn't very far from playing in the US. Like you guys have level one, two, three, and all that. We also have that here in the Philippines. And then you kind of travel from different cities and places to get points as well. So it was fun. I grew up traveling quite a bit with a group of young tennis players as well, like trying to get points, rack up those rankings, to have the opportunity to play the national tournaments, usually in Manila, like in the capital. So that was pretty much juniors for us.
Did you play any high school tennis over there as well, or school tennis?
Here in the Philippines, like high school sports isn't that big compared to there in the US. Like unless you play basketball and volleyball, then you don't get any attention at all. I mean, yeah, we did play some inter school tournaments, but that was it. That it wasn't really such a big deal for other people.
Do you remember any fond memories though from your junior days?
Oh yeah, of course. Like I usually like what comes up to my mind right away is like the traveling and then the bonding with the team. We used to travel like 8 hours as well, just going from one city to another just to play another tournament back to back. And so like we'd always end up like having fun in the car, singing our hearts out, and then just chit chatting and all that. And of course, when it comes to the tennis courts as well, you get to play your friends. So it's a good competition. It's a good environment that makes it very memorable. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Eventually then led you to the team environment everybody knows you for now, which was at University of Hawaii, and you became a Rainbow Wahine. And, I remember when you came onto the scene, and I think it was Cindy and Claire and all those guys were all playing. What was that like? And how did the opportunity even come up to play for UH?
Like when I was still in juniors, like in the Philippines, we have a group of people who supports like young tennis players who want to, get the opportunity to play ITFs and all that. And so I was under the Philippine Tennis Academy, and so they were sponsoring young kids from different provinces of the Philippines who they thought can have potential in the international field. And so I was a member of that team for about 5 to 6 years, just right before college. And so they paid for everything, like for our training, for our housing, school, and all that in Manila. They were based in Manila. And so because of that, I got the opportunity to play internationally with their help. And so I was able to get just enough points to get coaches' attention as well. So that was pretty much it. And because I think coach also knew the people from the academy because they were helping tennis players already way back. So I think coach was also one of the people they've helped before when he was still back in the Philippines. So that's it. And so they connected us together, and then coach and I talked a few times, and then that was it. Like, he made the chance. He gave me the chance to play for him under UH.
Roxy's referring to the current still women's head coach for UH, Jun Hernandez. Jun, if you're also watching this, what's up?
Aloha.
It's really cool, Roxy, to hear how these opportunities come up. And, here you are now in the state of Hawaii playing tennis. And how was that adjusting from the Philippines to Hawaii? Was there really any difference at all?
Well, I think the very main difference was that we were, like, once I got to college, tennis became a team sport. Like, we all know tennis players that tennis can be the most individual sport there is. Like, you don't have anyone else besides yourself. But then when I got to the US, suddenly it became a team atmosphere, a team environment. And then you got to think like, oh, what I do affects the whole team. So then that makes you like, think about, oh, wait, what am I doing? So,
Cool. So the food wasn't a big deal. The weather wasn't a big
Nah, pretty much the same. I think I'm still in Hawaii sometimes too. When I look at outside, I see trees and beaches.
Now that you're wearing the green and you're playing for the University of Hawaii, Roxy, take us through highlights if you can remember your fondest memories of being a warrior and a Rainbow Wahine.
Ooh, there's a lot, I think. But I think one of the most memorable ones was, of course, beating Long Beach in the semifinals in my freshman year of the Big West Conference. That was a big one, reigning champions for like a few years. So it was big for us to beat them in, I think it went down to Cindy's match. Yeah, it was Cindy's match, the deciding match to win that. So that was one that was really good. And then, of course, winning the championship eventually after 2 years, my junior year. I was able to clinch it for the team. So that was good. Those are very good memories.
UH actually bagged their first, in a long time, I would say, first women's Big West Conference Championship, which is the conference UH women's team plays in. And Roxy was fortunate enough to be a part of that squad. But yeah, making the semis in the freshman year, gosh, as a freshman, that must have been some experience, being coming in that team environment where all of a sudden you have, you have a bigger championship to play for, based on the
Mm-hmm.
individualness and then the progression. So, what was one of the biggest things you think you learned from either Coach Jun or your teammates as a collegiate player?
Oh, well, coach likes to talk a lot and like, he gives a little like I know you can relate. You probably know that.
Oh yeah,
But,
feel me.
he taught us a lot of things, not just on the court, but especially off the court as well. And I think it's always just giving your heart out with whatever you do. If you commit to doing something, then you can't just go out and do it half-heartedly. But like might as well just give it 100% since you've already decided to do it. So that, and also always be grateful for everything that you have right now, because a lot of people also wish and pray to have what you have right now. So you shouldn't be taking things for granted, especially if you have what you have right now.
Are there any particular like individual matches that you remember that were like big battles that you were a part of? Or I know you did mention the NCAA or the Big West tournament, the semifinals freshman year, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, we talked about this quite earlier, about against Ole Miss. That was a good match. That was a tough match. I was, I think, down for most of the part, and then for some reason I was able to turn things around. So that was pretty good too. But I think I'd like to highlight my entire senior year,
Mm.
like most of the matches, because fall of my senior year, October, I was already battling like a shoulder injury. Like I was already nursing it, and then I didn't think it would be like for a full year, like my whole senior year. I was actually nursing a shoulder injury my whole senior year. So I think a lot of those matches were more mental than physical, because I was battling pain, physical pain and mental pain, whatever pain there is because of that. So I think I'd like to highlight most of those matches, because I knew for sure I wasn't definitely 100%, but I didn't have a choice. I still had to fight through it and give what I can for those days, especially because the team was running low as well, because we were only 7 players and then everybody was injured as well. So we didn't have a chance to rest and take a break for a bit. It was just like matches on matches on matches, and then trainings as well. So I think that was such a feat, being able to push through the whole 10 months of tennis and trainings and lifting and all that with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now. You were injured that last year, and I think there was like a match or two I came out, and I think you played like an exhibition or you just practiced, and then you just hung out, and I was like, Roxy, what's going on? You're not in the lineup? And then I saw like the bandages on you. I was like, oh, gosh.
Yeah, I was a ninja my senior year, trying to find things out, like which stroke wouldn't hurt my shoulder and all that. So
Oh man, you were the original tennis ninja out there. Gosh. I forgot to mention this earlier, but I guess another thing that was brought up about you was you actually were playing at one point for the Fed Cup team. I believe it was the Philippines Fed Cup team, correct?
no, just the junior
Oh,
Fed
okay,
Cup.
Junior Fed Cup.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
junior Fed Cup. Yeah, because right when I graduated from juniors, I flew already to Hawaii to play, so I really didn't have the chance to rack up my rankings for the women's division in the Philippines. But yeah, the junior Fed Cup, I represented I think for 2 3 years for the Philippines.
Right on. I'm sure not many of us out here have had that kind of opportunity, especially for like the United States. What was that like for
Mm-hmm.
that little bit, getting to represent your country playing tennis?
Mm-hmm. Amazing. One of the best feelings ever is getting to play and wear that flag right on your chest. And, like every point you win, it's not just for you, but the whole Philippines, the whole country rooting for you. But also, like, the pressure is insanely crazy. There's like a huge rock right on my shoulders and that on my back, just, thinking that I'm playing not just for me, but for the entire country. So crazy experience. I was able to travel too because of that. So it was nice getting to see a lot of the other countries, you know, how they are as a team as well, and like getting to know a little bit about their tennis culture once we get to talk and have fun as well after the matches.
What's it like getting to play players internationally like that in the Fed Cup setting?
It's crazy though, like, because for example, Korea, like South Korea, there you can see how disciplined they are when it comes to like tennis, listening to their coaches and like following their routines and all that. They're on top, like Asian countries wise, they're on top when it comes to tennis as well. But like it's just eye-opening to see how much work they put into, and like the support of the people from their country and all that, so they get all the support they need, so all they have to do is just, you know, perform well. So it helps when, you know, you know that there's so much support getting given to you. So basically the pressure for you is just to play and do your best, not having to think about, oh, where am I going to get my rackets, where am I going to get my shoes and all that. So it pays a lot. It makes a lot of difference.
You know, there was actually another platform that you got to be a part of. It was a more local-based Hawaii one, and that is the Kailua men's, women's, and mixed night doubles tournament, which, you know, is like the tournament that everybody goes to play at or watch when it comes to tennis in Hawaii. And you had me out a couple times getting to play the women's event and the mixed event with, you know, everybody from Coach Rong, Cindy, your teammate. But do you remember any of those, playing any of those events back then?
Of course, yeah, I love Kailua night doubles. I mean, I don't think of it as a tournament, but you know, every time I go there, I was just like, oh, I just want to talk to everyone and then just skip the tennis part, you know, because everyone's just like happy and then enjoying watching tennis and all that. So it was such a nice experience, aside from, you know, being able to win with with Coach Rong. So but other than that, like, you know, the people you get to meet and talk for a little bit, and then, you know, it's fun to watch people to come there, not to, you know, like cheer for someone else, but to cheer for everyone and just enjoy the whole match they watch. So it's good.
I remember actually too, I think that's where I maybe might have met you, actually, was one of the night doubles events out there. And, you know, it's definitely a different kind of environment playing at the night double scene in our tournament, you know, locally versus, I'm sure, collegiate and even the, you know, the Junior Fed Cup, like you mentioned earlier. Do you remember any particular, you know, moments from those events that stand out to you?
I remember one year Cindy and I played, and then we decided to like match all our outfits, like from the leggings and the socks and then the bandanas and all. So that was fun. I remember that. I think we made it to the finals, but we lost to the girls from BYU. So, but that was fun. It was fun to dress up with the cap.
What was it like going from women's doubles to mixed doubles? Because I know I don't think many people talk about that, just because I'm sure from your perspective as a high performance level player who's been there, done that, what's it like being in the same kind of tournament like that, going from the mixed to the women's, just to give some, you know, competitive players some perspective on what's really going on there?
Well, I don't know. For me, like the mix was more of just like a fun category more than competing, because then of course you're playing against men, stronger, taller, and, you know, faster. So it was more of just like an experience, getting to also gauge yourself, like, oh, I'm able to go toe to toe with these men, so why am I not able to, you know, put this out when I play against women? So it's more of like the experience, and then, you know, just having fun, and then also getting a lot of inputs from these players. You know, you get to see how they play, especially doubles, because in the women's side, not a lot of women are comfortable playing doubles that much. So you just get to see, it's more of like a learning category, I should say, fun and learning category than more than competing and all. So
Anytime for some reason you hit the court at the night doubles, I was like, I gotta go watch your match, just because it brought a different kind of like feel in terms of doubles than a lot of the players. And I think the hardcore players don't understand what I'm talking about, that doubles is so different from singles. Is that something you personally enjoy, like doubles, or were you coached by that at one point, like mostly doing double stuff? I'm just curious.
No, I actually just enjoy doubles more than singles, of course, because then I can talk and then, somebody can call me out if I'm like spacing out already. Because that happens to me. I'm pretty sure, Cindy, if you're watching, you can attest to that. And Petra, if you're watching too, because you were my doubles partner, you can attest to that I just space out when I'm alone. So a lot of my singles matches, like coach yells at me because I'm just like out in space and not focusing on my match. So in doubles, I have someone to, like slap me like, hey, wake up, we're still playing. Before college with PTA, the Philippine Tennis Academy, our coach, his name is Jun as well, Jun Toledo. He was mostly a doubles player. Like he represented the Philippine Davis Cup team. And back when he was younger as well. And then he was really a really good doubles player. If you come to the Philippines, or even like in some other Asian countries where they had players who played them, they'd know Coach Jun as a double specialist. So of course, like he imparted a lot of his skills and techniques so that we could also apply that to our game as well.
I noticed anytime I would edit one of your matches and you're playing doubles, like on video, like I would see this thing flying around at the net. She's wearing green, and I'm like, oh, that's got to be Roxy, like for sure. It's very fun to watch that kind of style.
Yeah, it's not usual for women's, because like on the women's side, you'd see them like just at the baseline hitting and smashing the balls. But for someone like me, I'm small. And like I can't really go head to head with them like smacking balls. So my coach told me, Coach Jun Toledo told me, and even Coach Jun when I was there already in Hawaii, like he was telling me like, you got to take advantage of when you're comfortable at the net. So you got to use that to your advantage, because a lot of girls don't want that. So, it was kind of like what we were working on the whole 4 years when I was there, like just bettering my game, transitioning towards coming forward at the net. So.
That's really interesting, being able to hear that in doubles when it comes to, especially the women's game, as I'm sure a lot of young girls, me coaching juniors in particular, coaching doubles is real tricky, because those girls go through the same thing you've experienced. And, just thank you for sharing that insight on, the double scene, Roxy.
Yeah, like, because a lot of the girls get scared when they're up at the net, because they might get hit with a ball or something. But you just gotta face it. It's just the ball. I mean, it's gonna hurt for like probably 5 seconds, but then after that, like you're just gonna laugh at it. So might as well, But it's not easy. But once you get a hang of it, I promise you'll enjoy it.
Well, cool. Roxy, just you've been through so much on the court, and you've done so much in Hawaii and both in the Philippines. You're back here now in the Philippines after, your career at UH. And I'm sure people have been kind of wondering what Roxy's been up to since then. Where have you been, and what's in the future in the cards maybe for Roxy?
Well, so after my senior year, I decided to come home, take a break for a bit, I think I was just too tired from all the training and competing and all the pressure. So I decided to come home. So I'm actually now working at one of the leading mall chains here in the Philippines as one of their marketing officers. So I handle all their social media accounts and, assisting in events if there are any. I don't know if this will probably be a surprise to everyone, but I haven't touched my racket for over a year now. So you can see my color has changed already. I'm a bit lighter than when you saw me in Hawaii. So, but I'm hoping I'll be starting to play again, hopefully soon. We'll see where this goes. But yeah, so I think tennis is I think it was just too much for a bit. So that's why I wanted to take a break and, like try to find that passion again, that love for the game. But yeah, I'm just in the Philippines. So you guys, if you want to come and, visit the awesome beaches in the Philippines when everything is done, just message me.
Right on. Roxy, because I personally, Tennis Ninja has not been in the Philippines. Where's the places to see, and where do we go to play and hit balls?
Oh, there's a lot. Like, even if you just go to Manila or something, there's a lot of places you can play. But, like if you want to go vacationing and then play, you can go to Cebu It's a small island here. No, not actually. It's not a small island, but it's an island nearby my city, and they have lots of good tennis courts there, and we have lots of friends who can help us out as well. So yeah, just if you ever want to come, Shane, just let me know, and we'll hook something up.
All right, here we go. You heard it there, guys. It's gonna, I guess, be in the cards in the future. We'll have to get down there, hit some balls with Roxy, maybe even catch it on film, show how much better she is as a player compared to me. But anyway, we have one more segment in this interview, and it's my personal favorite. It's the rapid fire questions. If you saw Cindy answering these at the end, you'll kind of understand it's going to be a little fun. But I've changed the questions since then, so be on your toes a little bit here, but we'll have some fun. So answer short, questions short, but if you feel like answering more, go for it. You feel ready to go?
Bring it on. Let's go.
All right, cool. Roxy, favorite color?
Blue. No, actually, no, black. Just kidding, black.
Black. Interesting. Everybody says blue, but you changed.
No, black. I don't know. I just love the black color. I don't know. I'm wearing black for some reason. So it's easier for me. I don't know, because I'm not the fashion type of person. So I'd like to save time thinking like, oh, what do I have to pair with my shirt with this color and this color? So black goes with everything. So I just like, yeah, okay, black is fine.
Favorite music artist?
Ooh, not one specific, but like maybe like Ed Sheeran type, like those types of music. Like I don't have one favorite artist, but like that type of music I would go for.
Role model growing up. Who was your role model?
I'd like to say my parents. They've been through a lot as well, and growing up I was able to see all of those. So it's nice to see where they are now and how they brought us up as well. And I'd like to think we're okay as people growing up. Like, so I'd like to think they brought us up well. So that pretty much.
Racket of choice. What was your current racket you were using back in the day?
My very first one was a Slazenger, the small ones for kids, and then eventually I transitioned to Wilson, and then when I got to Hawaii, then that's when I switched to Babolat.
Favorite movie? What's Roxy's favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie of all time? Let's see. See, I'm not the type of person who has like one favorite, like I'm just gonna watch this all over again. But if on top of my mind, Titanic. I love the Titanic.
Interesting. That's a classic.
Yeah, so that's like one of the very first movies that came to my mind. So I'm a softie.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. Most memorable Hawaii tennis experience?
Doing a battle cheer with the schools that we play against. Like we're just like cheering, "Let's go, boss!" And then the other team screams their chant, and then we're just like, "No, this is our house. Let's go, boss!" So yeah, that was fun. Just like trying to fight the battle outside the tennis court since we can't really do anything when we're watching.
If you ever not been to a college tennis match, guys, get out to one of these things. It is very special.
Yeah, very interesting too.
Favorite hair or makeup product? Might be a wild card there.
That's so random because, like, I don't know, you probably seen me not wear makeup or something, but hair product, I don't know, shampoo.
Shampoo, popular choice out here, man. Who doesn't, right?
Yeah, or maybe conditioner too, because I'm curly, then I need conditioner. So okay, I changed my answer. Conditioner.
Oh, there you go. Gotta get the conditioner, guys.
Yep. Gotta get the hair in place.
Favorite Hawaii tennis courts? Where did you like to go play when you were here?
Well, that's kind of biased because I didn't really have that much time to go around. But of course, the UH tennis courts, I heard their courts are resurfaced. I saw photos and videos. It's awesome. So I'm excited if hopefully the season pushes through. And of course, Kailua. The courts are awesome, but the place in general is just really nice. So
UH got brand new tennis courts, guys, and the Tennis Ninja just found that out. We're gonna have to get down there. Favorite beach? Did you have a favorite beach when you were?
Sandy's. Sandy's is always one of the favorite.
That's like 2 or 3 in a row for Sandy's now. What's the attraction to that?
I don't know, probably just the area. Like, like getting to lie down on the sand but the waves are crazy. I personally never went in the water. Maybe just right by the waist, but other than that, I wasn't like a fan of the water. The waves were too big. And of the west side and the north shore actually were pretty on top of the list too. So, but Sandy's was definitely my favorite.
Favorite place to eat? Where did you like to eat?
Ooh, not a place, but I love Foodland's poke, spicy ahi, my favorite.
Foodland.
I'd always
That is classic. I love it.
You've never been to Hawaii if you've never eaten Foodland's poke, especially the spicy ahi. Usually, like just go to Foodland just for a quick lunch right before practice. It's just really good, or especially coming right after a trip, like a two week trip or something. Then I'd right straight up go to Foodland, just get spicy ahi.
Nice, awesome. Man, you had to say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now I'm gonna want to go to Foodland right after this is done. Well, this is probably redundant already at this point, but singles or doubles? What would you rather play?
Doubles.
Favorite hobby other than tennis?
I like hiking, going outdoors, just trying to keep myself active and like trying to, exercise as much as I can. So, yeah.
Favorite pro tennis player?
For the men's would always be Federer. And then for the women, I think she's back now, Kim Clijsters.
Yeah, that's right. I think Kim Clijsters came out of retirement recently.
Yeah, I think she's playing the US Open or the Cincy Open. I don't know. But I gotta check that out. But she was always one of my favorite growing up. And also Li Na too from China. But she's retired as well.
Li Na, I remember that name very well. Very fun player to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite Grand Slam?
I've always wanted to go to Wimbledon. So I've always wanted to like just wear white, and just fit in with the crowd and watch tennis with the Royals.
I do remember there was one UH match I went to where you guys actually were all wearing white. I think it was like one of the last matches of like one of the seasons. It was pretty cool. I thought of that.
Yeah. Plus with the green courts, so it's like grass courts as well.
That's right. Close enough, right? Roxy, if you could give one tip to an aspiring junior player or a total beginner, what would you tell them?
Always just listen to your coaches and always be coachable. Like don't act like you know everything already because trust me, you still have a lot of things to figure out and your coaches are there to help you. And of course, always be thankful, always be respectful to everyone, the people helping you out. And always say thank you, you're welcome. Those words go a long way. Always be humble. Yeah, that's really important. Just because you won one tournament doesn't mean like you can win everything. So you always have a lot of things to learn from after every match. So those are really important. And then of course, as what I've said earlier, you got to put your 100%, give all your heart out to what you're committed to do, because I think that will really help you go a long way, especially in tennis, and not just in tennis but also in life, because I think that's a really important attitude for you to have, especially if you want to do good in a lot of things. So, and of course, have fun, guys. That's really important. Have fun too. Don't be like me, who was really pressured a lot of times. So you gotta be enjoying what you do, and that will help you as well.
Now, I know it's been a while since you've been on the court or touched a racket, but while I got you here and you have the moment, is there anything you'd like to say out there to the Hawaii tennis community?
Of course, yes. I know before I left, I've said my thank yous to everyone, but I'd also like to take this opportunity again to say thank you to the entire Hawaii athletics community for all the things they've done for me, not just for me, but to the entire student athlete. They have, they've done such an incredible job supporting and keeping everyone intact with school, and then the support when it comes to our games and matches and all that. And of course, Coach Jun, Severio, and Rong. It's definitely one of the greatest times when I was with them, when I was under their coaching. So Thank you guys, and I hope to see you soon. Oh, of course, the entire UH tennis fans, you guys, our matches wouldn't be as fun without you. So thank you, and you please continue to support our Warriors and Rainbow Wahine tennis teams. Hopefully, their season pushes through next year, and I was hoping I could actually come out one of these days to watch and support the team. So thank you guys, and I hope to see you guys soon. Aloha, go Bows.
Right on. Go Bows. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's been a while since I said that. Oh my gosh, go Bows.
I will make sure, guys, we get a link down in the description to the UH website so you guys can go check out everything they're up to. And I'll hook you guys out with the tennis website in particular as well. Go check out the team, guys. If you haven't been to a college tennis match, I highly recommend go watch these guys play, and I will try and find the schedule. Hopefully, if tennis rolls next season, you guys will get to check it out. So, Roxy, thank you so much again for joining us today and sharing your journey with us and hanging out. We really appreciate it. Guys, thank you as well for tuning in. If you're watching this, like, comment, subscribe down below. Help support Tennis Ninja out, as if you do that, you're supporting tennis. Please, God bless, be safe, and aloha.